to go against America, to go against NATO, right? You got something?
Kind of going on in a similar spirit.
Yeah, bring it up.
This is the book of Second Ezra's.
Are you saying that's a bad or a good thing? Like going against NATO, like those things down.
Oh, no, we want that to happen. Bring it up.
This is the book of Second Ezra's, chapter 6, reading from verse 18.
Bring it out.
And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them that they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I shew these tokens. The books shall be opened in the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, and the women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound which every man heareth. They shall suddenly be afraid.
That's right, man. I'm going to the end times, man, where women are going to be given untimely births, man. The marketplaces are not going to be filled with your damn Haagen-Dazs, right? Your damn beef that you go buy, man. It's not going to be filled with that anymore. Your eggs that you go buy, right? This is why the Bible says that men should spoil each other's houses, because there's a lack of bread in the last days, man. Right? You have something from
Yep.
that? All right, bring it
Kind of going on that. At that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still in the 3 hours. In 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation.
That's on that point. It's one of that.
Yep, and the end of the world.
That's right, man, because we know that the end of the world is the salvation of the Israelites, man. And this is why it says in Revelation 14 and 12, these 14 and 17, I think, these are they that came out of great tribulation and seen the salvivity of the Yahweh, man, through his only begotten son, Mashiach Yahushua. Right? So making it through these plagues, making it through all of these things, making it through mark of the beast, making it through temptation. Some brothers are probably going to have to die being martyrs, and you're making it through these things, enduring the damn sin, man, that's postulated and pasteurized through this world, man. So enduring it to the end, then you'll see the salvivity that comes with Christ, man. Then you'll see that salvation of Yahweh.
That's right, yep. I got a little more.
Yeah,
And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched.
Right, man. So all evil and deceit will be quenched out of namely the people of the city, you know, the holy city, because when you read that in Revelation 21, it says the people of the city will no more have a curse, right? But we know that you other nations have to go in damn slavery, man, so you are going to be cursed, because in Deuteronomy 30 it says that the blessings will go on the Israelites and the other nations will have the curses, right? We're not going to be ashamed no more, as it says in Isaiah 47, the nations shall be ashamed, right? This is what it says, man. This is the Bible objectivity, man. Why you have to bring it up?
As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared.
That's right, man. And that fruit that's going into the what is that going into the tree, the diverse fruits? That's like declaring us as a nation. I think that's what that's talking about.
The fruit is like the fruit of our labors, like what we do on right now.
Yeah. You know.
And that's why we see the truth being declared at the end. Oh, they was right. Oh, when they see that that dark-skinned man,
coming
you
out
know,
the sky, man.
that Israelite man, when they see that hair like wool, hey, the truth will have been declared.
That's right. Because Christ said unto the world, this gospel shall be preached, and then the end shall come. You guys have had Catholicism around for a millennia and a half, and the end is not here. You got something?
When they see the the children of Israel being delivered, you know, in the manner as we've been talking about, man, when he has come up hither. Hey, man, the truth, the fruits of this thing, man, is gonna be. We will finally see the fruit of this.
Because our labors are not in vain.
I'm not Catholic, but it seems like if there's still Catholic people and it's the end of times and you're saying that's now, then being Catholic didn't interrupt the end of times.
Well, it was basically, he said, Christ said, the gospel shall be preached unto all the world, and then the end shall come. But you have the catechism and the papacy. Basically, you know, they say they arbiters for truth and that they're pushing it, but they've been around for a millennia and a half, and the end didn't come yet. You know, a millennia and a half is a long time. You know,
for sure.
But the word that's coming from the Bible, unadulterated, what the Israelites are teaching, that's only been around what, 100 years?
Mm-hmm.
Just about 100.
Islam is entirely an eschatological religion. Also, I mean, religion in general is. But I was talking to Muslims up on the square at the farmers market, and their position is like, if you're a Muslim but you reject Jesus, you're not a Muslim. You know, so it's like because a Muslim accepts all the prophets, and their position is just that Muhammad is sufficient to provide us all of God's teachings to get us to the final days. But those include the revelations, you know, in the Torah, and the revelations through, you know, Jesus, that the Muslims call the Injil, that we would call the gospel. And I don't know, I know what he's talking about. I've heard that.
Okay, I'm gonna address that. So that's what we call when their words are smoother than butter, man. They kind of trying to smooth you over. But
the thing
the
is
scriptures
that
say you gotta believe on.
The thing is that the ancient Arabic has only ever been the ancient Arabic, whereas the difficulty with translating these other scriptures is that there's been a lot of translations, and that's I think one thing that is fortunate about the possibility of studying Islam in the tradition of you know, being an Israelite, being you know, what I don't know, like from Abrahamic traditions. I just think that reconciling work is really important.
You know the precept for him dying on the cross?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can grab those two scriptures. So we gotta. They say they believe on him, right? I'm saying that their words are smoother than butter, because as we see,
well, I mean,
they do two things. You got this first one?
Yeah, I got the second one where he died.
All right, get that. So the word says that you got to believe on him as the scripture says, right? So what does it say about him?
This is the book of Luke chapter 23 and verse 46. And when Yahushua cried with a loud voice, he said, Father, into my hands I commend my spirit. And having said thus, he gave up the ghost.
So just like that, he gave up the ghost while he was on the cross. But they say that didn't happen. They say that, what you say? He did substitution jitsu is what the going phrase is going is right now.
What do you mean?
That it was the likeness of of him being up there.
That Christ substituted himself with somebody else, and another person died on the cross, and Christ ran off somewhere.
I don't think that's actually the literal interpretation.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
I mean, I'll have to check in. I'll have to check in about that because
we've talked to highly esteemed Muslims, and they literally say that. Literally, the Mahdi. Have you ever heard of the Mahdi today? That dude that's claiming he's like the descendant of Muhammad. You've heard of him?
I actually have
He's
not.
over in the Eastern world. He's very famous right now. And literally, he said that Christ wasn't even. He said out of his own mouth, Christ was not murdered on the cross. Some other man was. So they don't believe in the crucifixion of Christ. They believe that he was just a prophet.
The way I've interpreted the way I've interpreted it is that they don't believe that, you know.
They don't believe he's the son of God. They believe he's a prophet.
Well, they don't believe God has sons. They don't believe Muhammad's the son of God either. It's a fundamental thing in their text that God has no offspring and was never born himself.
So they're more denying the son of God, basically.
But again, saying son of is saying likeness of. Like when you say somebody's a son of a bitch,
he's the son of God.
You're saying somebody's being bitchy. But if you're saying somebody's son of God, they're living in a godly way. You know, and I would say that's ethical, that's moral. That's how you judge somebody.
Well, just what we're telling you, we've watched countless talks between Muslims, people that have studied this thing, people that are literally rabbinical teachers that also believe in like the hadiths, that have studied strong hadiths.
Yeah.
They literally believe that Christ didn't die on the cross, which is a blasphemy. The Gospel of Barnabas that that I don't like bringing up because it has a bunch of blasphemy and it literally also attests to this. So this is why we can call the Gospel of Barnabas also a damn heresy, because it literally says that Christ didn't die on the cross when the Bible itself said Christ died on the damn cross.
Yeah.
And all the synoptic Gospels.
Wait, so does the Gospel of Barnabas say that that instead Barnabas was killed?
No. Gospel of Barnabas literally says somebody else, like it was like you said, it was a likened man onto Christ that died, not Christ himself.
Okay. Well, I think the way to interpret that is that Jesus, the man, died on the cross. Christ did not die on the cross. That's
the thing. That's going against the prophecy. Because the prophecy. Hold on, real quick.
But I mean that's really the situation we're all in. We have ego, the personality that receives grace, and then we have grace within us.
I know what you're saying.
That is the light.
Trust me, I know what you're saying. But the prophecy
says, and it's that light that would never die on the cross.
But the prophecy says in Daniel, it says that he was cut off from the land of the living. That's what the prophecy of God says. The prophecy of God says that Christ will be cut off from the land of the living. Isaiah 53 says that he was cut off and stricken for the iniquities of my people.
Yeah, I mean, he submitted himself to every mortality of human life.
That's what I'm saying. So he would have had to have died, though. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, but
he would have had to die.
But then our faith that inhabits our physical bodies where we live, like also has to. Is that going to live on when he died on the cross? Like,
well, we believe,
is that the Christ? Is there some Christ in him that is not the Jesus?
Well, we know what the Bible tells us. We know that when we see Christ, it's going to be the same man of the people that pierced him. So it's going to be that same person, right? That we see. We literally see in the Bible that he's just the image of the invisible God, the expressed image of God.
They even got you go for it. I'm gonna get the eyes of fire. But
bring it up. That's all I wanted to say. Is that because you're saying he didn't die. The Muslims are saying he didn't die, but literally they will be going against the Injil. They will be going against the prophets.
I'm not saying he didn't die. I'm not saying he didn't die.
No, I'm saying the Muslims. The Muslims.
Yeah.
We're talking about Muslims.
Well, I mean,
and we're talking about higher up Muslims. I'm talking about dudes that have been studying that for years.
It's written in their Quran.
It's written in the Quran that he did. Yeah. Trust me. I've talked to Muslims myself, and they said that. They say, we believe he's a prophet.
I talk to all sorts of people, all sorts of different religions who I think have very silly views about things. But the whole point is that we talk and we try to be, because if we have good faith in God, then our conversation should always produce greater understanding and serve our faith.
I'm gonna get that scripture when you say how he's gonna come back, right?
Right.
So let's get another account. Revelation chapter 19. Reading from verse 11.
Bring it up.
And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knoweth but he himself. So yeah, he still had those eyes, man.
Yeah.
So we know he's exactly who they talking to, because he was already described in chapter 1.
And that's cool. That's what I wanted to address. Like when people say there's a bunch of different translations of the Bible, but the thing that destroys all of that is that we have the source documents, the documents in which all of these English translations and these Latin translations were based upon. We have the source documents. We have the Masoretic text. We have the Pentateuch. We have the Greek Septuagint. We have the Textus Receptus, the Textus Vertanicus. We have the Latin Vulgate. So we have these things. We have a bunch of archaeology of the scrolls. So I mean, we can't really say that these things are translated out of the objectivity that they provide. So
I mean, what are you going to say that? It was. What were they saying? That we don't have the translations, or we don't have any source.
Well, we got the source documents.
Text. What is it? Is that going to be your big excuse when the books are open?
To die on, yeah.
You can't just
That's
look at a book
say
that says
to the living God.
You can't just the living God is you right now. The living God is
the living God
is the trees that are growing.
Yeah,
The living God
the
is
living
God is the flowers that Jesus reminded us of in Matthew 6:29. That's the living God. And
when it says, I'm going to say this for the camera's sake, for edification's sake. Like when it says living God in the Bible, it's actually talking about the God that's ancient before days, that has life in himself. That's what it's talking about. Now, when you say that you say that men are gods, yeah, the Israelite men are gods. That's what John 10 says. He says, and Christ said, the scripture cannot be broken.
What I'm saying is that since God is the only life-giving power, there is no option then for all of God's creation to be made of God's substance. There's no other option, logically.
Because I'll attest to what you said. Because in Wisdom of Solomon 12:1, it says that his incorruptible spirit is in all things. So we believe that all things contain the spirit of Yahweh. This is why he says that he's the God of not only the Jews, but also all the other nations. Because with one blood, he made all men. So yes, he made all men because we're the clay. He's the potter. Yeah. So we agree with that. But there were also a chosen particular part of that clay that he was.
And the Greek word in the New Testament is eklektikos, our English word eclectic, and I think that's important. I've said that before, and I can no, not eclecticism, eklektikos, the Greek word that is translated as chosen or the elect. I mean that instead of being a special class that's only one type of person, it says that it could be the eklektikos, the chosen elect are all over the world, and they'd be the best of every tradition.
But it also says in the Bible that the Israelites are the elect too. We can't inoculate. I mean, you know how we feel over the Bible, because the Bible does say that the Israelites are the elect.
I can't speak to that. Like I don't know. What I know, and I think we agree about that, is that the Zionists in Israel right now, they're not the Israelites. Right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I see. I feel like I see what's going on there, and if I think in terms of the Bible, I think they're the lawless one. That represents the lawless one.
Okay, scripture.
That's on me.
2 Ezra chapter 2, reading from verse 14. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good, for I live, saith the Lord. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. And those that be dead will I raise up again,